The Alberta oil sands are often on the minds of many Canadians, but these days it seems maybe a little more than usual. It could be because the European Union will decide this week whether to brand them as dirty, or because of some new findings from a Canadian scientist. Our senior correspondent, Terry Malevsky, looks at it all. Terry.
Well, Peter, the propaganda war over the oil sands can sound like a broken record. One side saying it's ethical oil, the other side saying it's dirty. But now comes a top climate scientist with surprising new data. He says that the oil sands are bad for global warming, but not nearly as bad as coal or gas.
If we combusted all the oil that's currently under development in the Alberta oil sands, it would be warming of about 0.01 degrees globally. That's almost insignificant.
Canadian Andrew Weaver is a world-class climate expert whose new report says the oil sands are not as dirty as they're made out. He calculates that we could burn up all of the oil in the oil sands, which would take 100 years, and still only heat up the globe by less than half of 1 degree. By contrast, burning all the world's coal would roast the planet, heating it by 15 degrees.
Coal is both dirtier and there's much more of it.
Still, Weaver is no fan of the oil sands or of any fossil fuels.
We are not providing a get-out-of-jail-free card for the oil sands industry. There is an awful lot in terms of environmental issues and social issues that need to be addressed.
That did not stop the industry seizing on the report as welcome news.
I mean, you got Hollywood movie stars calling it a carbon bomb, most destructive project on Earth. And clearly when a credible scientist gets a hold of good data, they arrive at a very different conclusion. So from that standpoint, very helpful.
But will it be helpful enough when the European Union is set to vote on a planned blacklisting of Canada's oil sands? Canada sells almost no oil to Europe, but the government has been lobbying hard against the idea because it doesn't want it to spread to our main customer, the U.S.
Canada is concerned that this doesn't become something which people accept as the appropriate thing to do.
Now, the European Union votes Thursday on whether to label the oil sands as dirty, but it needs a 2/3 majority, which is not easy to get. In the meantime, the industry has a new slogan: Canada's oil sands, not as bad as we thought. Peter.
All right, Terry Malevsky in Ottawa, snowy Ottawa tonight.